know the feeling. The confrontation you didn't see coming. Your boss calls you into their office, their face a mask of disappointment. A colleague challenges you in a meeting. A tense argument ignites at the family dinner table. And in that moment, the world shrinks to a single, terrifying point. Your heart begins to pound, a drumbeat of panic, your mouth goes dry. Your mind, once clear, becomes a fog of 1,000 anxious thoughts. You want to be strong, to be articulate, to be witty. Instead, you stammer, you shrink, you lose. Every confrontation is actually two battles, the one you fight with the person in front of you and the one you fight with the fear inside of you. And the truth is, if you lose the inner battle, the outer battle is already over. But what if you could silence that fear? What if you could stand in the heart of the storm and feel nothing but a profound sense of calm? The most legendary samurai duelist, Miyamoto Musashi, didn't win over 60 duels because he was the strongest or the fastest. He won because he had mastered the art of the inner battle. He called his philosophy Fudoshin, the immovable mind. This isn't just for samurai. It's a timeless code for anyone who wants to face conflict, not with aggression, but with untouchable composure. It is built on 3 pillars of power. Pillar 1. The observer, separating self from sensation. The first pillar is the most crucial mental shift. When fear or anger rises, our first mistake is one of language and therefore of identity. We say, I am angry. I am afraid. We fuse our entire being with a temporary chemical storm inside us. Musashi, influenced by Zen philosophy, understood that you are not the storm. You are the sky through which the storm passes. He would not have said, I am angry. He would have said, I notice the feeling of anger arising. That small distinction is a universe of power. One is an identity. The other is an observation. Imagine a young lawyer, Jessica, in her first major court case. She's cross-examining a hostile witness who, feeling cornered, sneers at her. You're a little young to be playing lawyer, aren't you? The courtroom goes silent. A hot flash of anger and humiliation shoots through Jessica's body. The untrained mind would be hijacked by this. She would become the anger. Her face would flush. Her voice would tremble. And she would lash out with a clumsy, emotional retort, losing all credibility with the jury. But Jessica has trained as an observer. She feels the hot flash. She feels her heart race, and she mentally labels it. Ah, there is anger. There is humiliation. By noticing it, she creates a microsecond of distance. The emotion is now an object she can look at, not a current that sweeps her away. From that space of observation, she takes one calm breath, holds eye contact with the witness, and without a trace of anger, asks, Is that your professional opinion? Or are you just trying to avoid my last question? The witness is disarmed. The jury is impressed. She didn't suppress her anger. She refused to become it. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught this same principle in ancient Greece. He said, It is not things that upset us, but our judgment about things. By observing your emotions, you separate the event from your judgment about it. You reclaim your power to choose your response. Pillar 2. The alchemist. Transforming fear into fuel. Observing emotion is the first step. The second is learning to use it. Strong emotions, fear, anger, anxiety, are not your enemies. They are immense sources of raw, primal energy. The untrained person is consumed by this fire. The master strategist becomes an alchemist, transforming this chaotic energy into focused, brilliant fuel. Musashi taught that one should use anger without being used by it. Fear is the same. Fear is adrenaline. It's your body preparing for intense action. The question is, what kind of action? Consider Ben, a startup founder about to pitch his company to a room of notoriously ruthless venture capitalists. He's standing backstage, and the fear is overwhelming. His hands are shaking. He can feel his pulse in his throat. The untrained mind would let this fear manifest as weakness. He would walk on stage. His voice would tremble. His hands would shake. And the VCs would smell blood in the water. They would see fear and interpret it as a lack of confidence in his own business. But Ben has trained as an alchemist. He feels the adrenaline coursing through him, and he rebrands it. He tells himself, "This is not fear. This is focus. This is not anxiety. This is energy for the performance of my life." He doesn't try to calm down. He decides where to aim the energy. He channels that adrenaline not into a shaky voice, but into a sharp, passionate, and incredibly high-energy delivery. He strides onto the stage. His voice is powerful. His movements are electric. The VCs don't see a scared founder. They see a founder with an almost terrifying level of passion and conviction. He has turned the poison of fear into the elixir of performance. The philosopher Nietzsche once wrote, "That which does not kill us makes us stronger." The alchemist takes this a step further. That which tries to frighten us can be made to fuel us. Pillar 3. The Stoic. Detaching from the ego. This is the deepest pillar, the one that grants invincibility. Why do we truly feel fear in a confrontation? It's not a fear of physical harm. It's the fear of ego death, the fear of looking stupid, the fear of being wrong, the fear of losing status, the fear of being judged. All of these fears are born from the ego's desperate attachment to a specific outcome. Musashi understood that to become truly fearless, you must kill the part of you that has something to lose. He did this through what he called voluntary hardship, stripping himself of comfort and praise until he needed nothing from the world. Maria is a project manager who has to report a major project failure to the senior executives. The failure was her team's fault. Her ego is screaming. It is terrified of the judgment, the anger, the damage to her reputation. The ego-driven person would walk into that meeting defensively. They would have a list of excuses. They would subtly try to shift blame. Their fear of the outcome would make them weak, and the executives would see right through it. But Maria has trained as a Stoic. Before the meeting, she practices what the Stoics called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. She accepts the worst-case scenario. They will be angry. I might be embarrassed. I might even lose my job, so be it. By accepting the worst, she detaches herself from the need for a good outcome. She has killed her ego's frantic need for approval. She walks into the boardroom, calm and centered. She begins, "Good morning. The launch for Project Omega has failed. Here is what happened. Here is where my team was responsible. And here is my 3-step plan to fix it." There is no fear in her voice. There are no excuses. The executives, who were prepared for a fight, are stunned into silence. They are met not with weakness, but with radical accountability and confidence born from a lack of fear. In her greatest moment of professional failure, she commands more respect than ever before. As the great Stoic Seneca wrote, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." When your ego is attached to every outcome, every opinion, your peace is nowhere. By detaching, you find your center everywhere. The observer, the alchemist, the Stoic. These are the pillars of the unmoved mind. This is not a philosophy of passivity. It is a doctrine of supreme control. Calmness is the ultimate weapon in a world full of emotional noise. While others are swept away by the storms of their own anger and fear, you will remain anchored. while they are blinded by reaction, you will see with profound clarity. The next time you feel that familiar cold grip of fear rising in your chest before a confrontation, do not run from it. Do not be ashamed of it. Greet it, observe it, and you will not be controlled by it. Channel it, and you will harness its power. Detach from your ego's need to win, and you will become impossible to defeat. The person who masters their own inner world can never be conquered by the outer one. That is the secret of the calm warrior. That is the path to silencing fear.